Hello, everybody. Happy day of spring. Yeah, do you know that? Here's a do you know. According to the meteorologist, their calendar says that winter is December, January, and February. So of um, the 1st of March is actually spring. We don't have to wait till the 21st. Now, to some of you in other parts of the country where it's still cold and the groundhog saw his shadow, I'm sorry, but it is beautiful and warm here today. So it is the first day of spring. Also, it is National Quilting Month. So let's see. Oh, okay. Got my phone here. I'm going to set it over so I can actually read and see your comments. Yes. Um, all right. Yes. What's everybody working on today? Being the first day of the new month. Um, we have birthdays coming up this month, and Pam will be on, and she'll let us know when those are. This is her birthday month, so we'll all make sure that we wish her a happy birthday on the 26th. Um, the rest of them, I leave that up to her to keep track of all of the birthdays. Lots of fun and exciting things. So since it's National Quilting Month, we are going to be talking all things quilting, or lots of things, lots of quilting stuff this month. And you know, the challenge for the month, if you've missed it, we finished up our couples, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. You guys had sisters sewing with you. You had friends, significant others, spouses, grandchildren, and you posted pictures. Awesome. And so happy that maybe we introduced somebody new to this wonderful activity. I know Pam will tell you I brought her kicking and screaming several years ago. Not really, but got her involved, and now just kind of pulled her in hook, line, and sinker. I'm not sure that she's watching today, but we're going to get her on and try to get her on some more this month. Okay, so it's National Quilting. It is the first of the month. I keep looking off to the side. It's because my other screen is over here telling me what all of your comments are. So keep those comments coming. I love to know what everybody's working on. March is bringing us our Tote Bag Challenge. So we are challenging you to make a tote bag. And what better way to make one than to use up some, oh, Grand Jenny's on with us. Yay. She doesn't get to watch us always live. Extra blocks. Yes, I had a quilt and I opened up a box and I found 2 blocks, 12.5 inch. So what I'm going to do with those is I grabbed some more scraps. I had some more muslin in there. I cut it 12.5 inches. And I want to talk to you today a couple things about quilting. So I've got some batting here. And did you know that you can piece your batting? Because my batting's not quite, if you look, wanted to quilt this, wanted to do a stitch in the ditch quilting on it, but look, I don't have enough batting. But I can take 2 pieces, and I've got a little scrap down here too. Oh yeah, we'll talk about scraps too. But I can take 2 pieces, and if you line them up on your machine and use your edge joining foot or your stitch in the ditch foot, or if you don't have that, you could even use a zigzag. You don't want to, to overlap them. A little bit of overlap. But if you just sew those together and then just tug them just a little, you've created a piece of batting that you can use. If you've got a felting machine, even better. But if you don't, you can easily sew it on your machine. And let's see. I can show you how in a moment. But before we do that, I do want to finish off one more thing with our embroidery machines and from the class the other day, the no place, no place, no. Yes, no place like home. But this also works with um, your Kimberbell, the borders and the background quilting and the clear blue tiles. So what I wanted to show you is on your machine. Let me just go over here and see if we can't get this, get you in there. Okay, so what I was doing is, pull this off and show you. This was one of the sets of borders from the class. Now, this works with their other borders as well, if you're doing the Lucky Us pillow or any of the other ones. And your measurements for your border does not measure the size of the embroidery design. Okay, let's see, as an example, our first borders were 16 and a half and 18 and a half. Well, our designs, we had to hoop them twice. You didn't have a big enough hoop. Maybe your design's only in a 6x10 hoop. Well, you can continually embroider, because you embroider, whoops, one section and then you move it and then you do the next section. But look, this is my last section and I don't want to waste all of my fabric, not my fabric, but my thread. I don't want to embroider all that design down here on my batting. Okay, we couldn't cut off the design or stop it. These were in our kit, so we had the same size piece of batting. Our machine didn't know what size our fabric was, but you can see I've got it taped or down here, basted, and this was all part of the design. But what I want to show you is, as it started to go down into this area, I stopped it and skipped ahead. You don't have to embroider all of that if you don't want to and you want to save your thread. So I'm just going to show you. Just get this back in. Okay, so, on your screens it's all going to be different. But you'll have your design. Now some of you may have a teeny weeny screen with a teeny weeny design, but your Baby Lock and Brother machines, you still have this capability. And that's this little thing down here, the needle plus and minus. Now this works also if you break a thread or a needle and have to back up and reverse, you can do that here. But what I did was I just went to this part, and when my design stopped over here, it was stitching. Let's just go up a color and I'll just show you. Okay, so it's ready to stitch. It's going to stitch my design, stitch, stitch, stitch. I'm not going to start it because I've already stitched it. But if I want to go ahead and get over to the next side or down, when it gets down here to the bottom, let me just show you. Let's see. I'm just going to pretend here. We're going to pretend, okay, it's sewed there. Well, now it's down here on my batting, and I don't want us to do that. So I can just stop. It was stitching. I can just stop it. And now I can go over here and advance so that it goes back up to the top on the other side. And some of you have, depends on the number of stitches. Okay, let's see. If you go too far, you can just back up. Look at that. I can just back up. Okay, so I got down to that end, and now I'm up and I can do the same thing. I can go ahead, stitch, stitch, stitch. When it gets down here to the batting, stop. I don't have to finish that. Then my design's finished and I can go on to the next color. So this is something that's built into all of your machines, and it's the advanced function. If you break a thread or break a needle, or you run out of bobbin thread, you can always come here, and on now your upper end machines, it will tell you when you're almost out of bobbin thread, and you can push a button and tie it off. But if you have the basic embroidery machines, maybe you only have a 4x4 hoop, or you have one of the original ones and you don't have all the fancy bells and whistles, you still have this where you can advance it. I would recommend there that you back up about 10 spaces. You know, if you your thread breaks or you run out of bobbin thread, your needle, you know, you have an issue with your needle, stop. When you rethread everything, back it back up. Now, if you have a really good jam and a broken needle, what you can do is, let me see where we're at here. Okay, so it's back at that color. So, my thread broke. Oh no. Or my broken needle. Uh-oh. Or you bumped your embroidery arm. What you do is you turn your machine off. It kind of like simulates a power or what, you know, power. Now, when you go to turn it back on, it's going to tell you you're going to have to take your hoop off. Okay? So we're going to take the hoop off. But what it will do is on almost all of your machines, wherever you were, it's always going to do that. It recalibrates it or resets it. So if you've jammed it up and you start to embroider again and you say, oh no, everything's off. It's just off by a couple stitches. Well, this is what I do because I've done it before. If I break a needle, I'll turn it off and back on because now I've got this screen right here and it says okay to recall and resume previous memory. Always say yes, and now it takes it right back to the exact place where I stopped. So if something happened that my fabric got pulled or my arm got bumped or my needle broke, because you know, if you break a needle it could throw things out a little bit, this will kind of resynchronize everything and put it back where you left off and reset everything so that you're not off those couple stitches. It puts you right back in the right place as long as your fabric hasn't moved. So wanted to show that with you, share that with you first because that finishes up our embroidery month. And I was working on this and I thought, oh yeah, so I can show you that this is what, so see, it's stitched down here a little bit, but I didn't stitch all the way down on that because I didn't need it. So I'll be able to trim all this up and have my quilting on my borders. That was from our class on over the Friday and Saturday of last week. So let me see if there's any, does anybody have any questions or comments about that? Yeah, the Stitcher's Garden, that was a whole lot of fun. And we do have our Janine Babbage at 2, the Soak Your Troubles Away. We've got that class coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to show you. We're going to sewing. So go up here to sewing. You have to give me a second here to switch out my foot. And I'm just going to show you with a basic. See, I don't have a stitch in the ditch foot here. But that's okay because I can show this. Just want you to see, and it's probably better anyway. So if you don't even have a stitch in the ditch foot, this is how you can take your batting and join it together. You can, you know, it can bump up to each other. You just don't want it to overlap. So we're going to take, and we want a zigzag stitch, obviously, and you can play around and adjust the length. But if we take these two pieces, and I even have it, it's even rough cut on this side. I'm going to take the two sides that are the closest, you know, the straightest. And I'm just going to put them underneath my foot. And then, like I said, with your stitch in the stitch foot, it works a whole lot better because that'll guide. Let me just see here. Let's just dig into the box. You know, if you've got the Swarsh, you've got this fancy box with all of these extra feet in there. It is not in here. Yeah, it might even be up here on top. No, so we're just not going to worry about it. This is for everybody that doesn't have one. If you want one, I can get it for you. So you're just going to take this and zigzag it back and forth. Now this has a pretty tight length. You really don't have to have it's just enough to kind of hold it together. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I just want to show this to you. So if you have odd pieces of batting, little pieces, you can still use them. Okay, so you can still use your pieces of batting. Look. So it's not perfect, but it will hold it together. And it's okay to go ahead. It's laying nice and flat. You can see I've got it. It's nice and flat because I only butted them up together. And now I can use this piece of batting behind my quilt block. Now obviously I have to finish that, but behind my quilt block. Okay. So now I've got a nice big piece of batting, or I can put it over here to the side just so it's okay. So it's just like this. And I can go ahead and use my walking foot and do some quilting. It's just, on this one, I would just start with stitch in the ditch. Okay, I would just start with a stitch in the ditch. I'm going to quilt this block, going to quilt the other block, and then I've got the lining. And guess what? We are back to being able to make another tote bag for this month. So go look in your stash. If you don't have a block, I mean, this is 12.5 inch, so that's a good size. If you wanted it to be bigger, you could put a border on it. You could, whatever you want to do, whatever size you want your bag to be. It's just a good way to grab some of those scraps and be able to turn them into something useful. Okay? So we will do that. We will work on some more of that as the time goes on. And if you've got, let's see, oh goodness, we'll do some quilt blocks, some different things this month. If there's something special that has to do with quilting you'd like to see and have questions about, let me know, because it's all about quilting, machine quilting, hand quilting, whatever kind of quilting. It is National Quilt Month, and we're going to play around with that this month. We do have our Edge to Edge trio coming up with the Amelia Scott, sold out, yay! But we have another one that'll be coming up for later on this year. We have our Vintage Jewel Block of the Month. And that class is meeting this week. We have our Easter table runner. Oh, goodness. Today, if you are part of the dealer digital exclusives, okay, Mike will have sent out, he uploads the list to Kimberbell, and you'll get it in your mailbox. You should get it from them. If you have a problem, don't worry. Our backup plan is we have the design, and we'll send it to you so that we make sure that you have it, and sooner or later they'll get it fixed and be able to send it to you as well. We have the sew along that is on the 10th, and the dealer digital exclusive for this month, and I think we might have a couple still available. Let me look over here on the wall. Oh goodness, is the, there it is. Oh goodness, this is what we're doing. The yard flag using a canvas tote. Now you can stitch it on something else if you really want a yard flag, but this is a canvas tote. The handles, we left the handles on because they did on the instructions, but I'm kind of thinking that I'm gonna leave it like this. There is nothing on the back. It is one-sided, so you could hang it on your door. You could hang it up. If you want to put a second design on the back, you could. You could even make it reversible because this is a canvas tote. You're not going to sew it together till afterwards, so you know, maybe it would be put something else on the other side. So you have it this way for spring, and then you could turn around and use the other side. Just an idea. So we'll have lots of ideas on that. That's coming up on the 10th. So that's next Thursday. Our jelly roll, the quilt behind us, that class is this month because it's quilting, and the charm pack quilt on the 31st. So that's what we've got going on. Let's see. I don't know if there's any other questions. Okay, anybody else want to tell me what you're working on? Let's see, we've got questions on adjustment, the quilt on clear blue tiles. Okay, we may be able to talk about that. Give me a chance to put something together. We did clear blue tile classes. If you purchased the classes from us, we did the table runner, and there were 2 classes that we have on video that we can give to you. Everybody working on that Stitcher's Garden, yes. And Mary's finishing up her No Place Like Home. I know, that pillow, I'll show it to you, because if you guys missed it and you're an embroidery, a Kimberbell fanatic, it was just awesome. All the different things that you learned, and there were extra designs, or not extra designs, but the designs that were in there were additional sizes for you. So with that being said, I am going to send you on. Oh, I know. We talked about t-shirts, and a lot of you said you would like to have shirts like Mike and I have with the A&A white. I'm working on them to put something like Friends of above it and the logo on the back. Some of the shirts are in. We're getting the rest of them in, but if you are interested, you can go onto the website. I think we made them, they're like $8 if you want to buy a nice cotton shirt. They're $8. That's just to kind of defray the cost a little bit. If you order them with something, it'll go in, we'll send them to you. If you're just ordering, you just want the shirt, say you'll pick it up and we'll ship it to you. There's no shipping charge on it. That's just to kind of defray the cost a little bit of the, the shirt and the shipping and all that. So you can't get, and they're nice shirts. They really are. The place that we get them, we wear them every single day. So we have them in all different sizes. Just go onto the website and go ahead and place your orders. It'll probably be about 2 weeks because we have to wait till we get the rest of them in. And then I got to get them over to the guy that does the stuff on it for us. And let me see. Today, Mike was busy sending out the Dealer's Digital exclusives, the packages, the class packages. And let me see, I'll tell you what else we have up. Table runners, I think he's busy getting those sent out as well because I cut all of those kits. The Edge to Edge Academy, the trio, I have all of the kits. That's the class. It's the 17th and 18th. The kits are cut. He's waiting on the books. They're on their way. So as soon as the workbooks come in, he can get them stuck in there and get them out. The Deep Sea, the Blue Pillow, the Basic Sewing, Sew It Yourself, those are my next up kits. So if you're looking for that class, get registered as ASAP, because once I cut the kits, I'm done. Then there's classes full. The neckline, they're all rounded. His t-shirts are, the t-shirts we got are all rounded t-shirts. I got special ones because I'm special. No, they're all rounded, round neck t-shirts that we got. So that's all I've got, unless anybody has a question for me. We can talk about clear blue tiles. Yeah, the neckline on the shirts, they're all round neck, regular t-shirts. And I think they're all what they call unisex size. So take that, into consideration. They really don't shrink up. I wear medium. The small ones were kind of small because they always are. So I just got the medium ones, and They wash up really, really well and last a long time. Because I will tell you, Mike beats the crap out of them. He wears them every single day. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else. New pattern that's in. I'll be putting something together. I've had people ask about this. This is a little table topper type thing from Amalia Scott. It's a brand new pattern all about coffee. I'm working on getting that together. Oh, if you missed out on yesterday on Paula, her we had rescheduled it. We had some technical difficulties, and it'll be rescheduled. And I'll let you know as soon as we get that worked out. So bless her heart, she had some issues on her end. I think I talked to her afterwards, and in the middle of trying to get on for the class, her new computer decided it was time to update Windows 11. And it took the drivers off the microphone, so she had no microphone. So it was a rough day, but we all had a good time, and it'll be just fine. I have the month of March, R&K Embellish specials. There are thread specials where you buy the thread and get one of everything, and you get these wonderful boxes to put them up on your wall. So we've got the thread. If you want to see the ones back here, oops, behind me, those are the threads. I've got them one of everything. So if you need to see a color, I can go back and pull it. There's also a table runner bundle that is on sale. I think it's regularly $160, and it's on sale for $99. It comes with more than enough stuff. I mean, more stuff than you need to make one table runner. Okay, just the batting alone. But it's you get this little. So soon we're going to be doing this because I love this design. I love that bicycle. I just have to make it, even though spring just sprung here. But you get all of those designs, and what's really cool with a lot of their designs is they digitize them in 60 weight and 40. So your traditional 40 weight thread or the matte finish 40 weight is, you pick the design, that same design is digitized again for the 60 weight if you like the thinner 60 weight thread. So you don't have to make adjustments and think, oh, it's too thin, it's too thick. They already did it for you. So this has all these extra designs. There's 8 designs in the hoop. It requires an 8x8 hoop. Has the cut, the bonus or the cut designs, and the app for your applique. So you can do lots of stuff with it. So that comes with the bundle. And the bundle, there's more stuff than you need just for this. Okay? I think that answers everybody's questions. You guys make it a great day. Go sew something. And remember, tote bag month. It's quilting month. Make a tote bag out of some of your scraps. You know, I pulled up a book because I've always wanted to do a crazy quilt. And you know, the crazy quilt came in, and I'm going to share some more of that stuff and quilting stuff, like I said, throughout the month because it's National Quilt Month. But it was a way it was utilitarian. They saved every little scrap. You know, we saved down to 5-inch scraps, 2.5-inch strips. Well, they saved everything and turned beautiful quilts for purses and bags and quilts and all kinds of other stuff, and then used embroidery thread and other little bits of stuff and beads, and just made beautiful, beautiful artwork and beautiful quilts. So that I found that rather interesting. So more about that another day. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I should be at the shop with Mike, and it'll be Tech Talk. He's got some interesting things to share with you. He always does. So we will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Make it a great afternoon.